Second half of Hull Kingston Rovers and the Castleford Tigers. 10-0 to Rovers, and Castleford it is who get us going in the second half. And the kick from McGoldrick is knocked forward because it held in the wind, and Castleford have the possession. This is a great opportunity for them right at the start of this second half. Gutenbiel.
First. Hold. Go.
Henderson at dummy half. Liafa will drive the ball forward. Conditions are getting worse here at Craven Park right now. Fogg is driving in as Luke Dawn has it for the Tigers. He finds Ryan Clayton. That's the third tackle. Dawn again, dummy half. Gives it to McGoldrick. McGoldrick then finds Gutenbiel.
4. 2 feet.
Henderson. Henderson gives it to Sherwin. Sherwin on the inside. Sheer weight of numbers.
Oh, that was telegraphed. That was not the best inside pass. And he got crunched. Terry Madison will be disappointed. Golden opportunity. McGoldrick come up with the error right from the kickoff. Another thing that was disappointed with the Tigers in that first half, they never utilised this. It's quite a strong wind that was to their advantage. I don't think you'll see Hull Kingston Rovers turn that opportunity down.
First. Hold.
It's Rovers who are in possession here now. They should have been about a minute and a half ago after the kickoff, but there was the mistake in their defence, and that's why Castleford had the chance to get over the line. Fogg is lifting, thankfully, at the moment, but this is a great break from Webster. Webster feeds the ball out wide. And there is a chance here for Fitzhenry, who gets the second try of the night for him.
Beautiful work on the short blind side. Fitzhenry, once he got open space, there was only one man close to him, and he was the guy with the whistle. Steve Ganson showed a lot of pace there. Beautiful work also by Jake Webster. Scintillating stuff, pretty difficult to see, but what you can see was all class. The way that Jake Webster came from the outside in on the angle, committed the man to the tackle and allowed Fitzhenry a good run on the outside. As I say, nearest bloke to this fella eventually was Steve Ganson. Boy, he showed some speed there.
So Daniel Fitzhenry gets his second try of the night, and Scott Morrell now to try and add the extras. He hits the post and it goes over. He turned away in disgust. It's Scott Morrell. He missed that, but it ricocheted over the top of the bar.
Big grin all over his face saying, how on earth did that go over? Did you see that, he said? Great stuff from Jake Webster. Very strong. Any youngster watching out there that wants to become a very good centre, you just watch that time and time again, and watch this. Just straight in.
Eddie, last night in our interactive show, we discussed what would be a realistic goal for Hull KR this year. I think if they continue to score tries of that sort of quality, then they could very easily find themselves in the playoffs. That is a classy try from a team who you expect to see in the playoffs at the end of the season.
And they've managed to hold on to the ball here. This is Chev Walker. And Walker's appealing that he's been tackled around the neck, and the referee agrees with him.
Mate. You can't use his head as a lever.
And a bit of argy-bargy going on between the players, and something said out of turn to Steve Ganson. Luke Dawn it is, who has had a little chip at the referee. And he's been marched 10 metres further back towards his own post.
Where are you going to grab him?
There's a little doubt about it. Chev Walker, you can see his nose to be pushed up into the air. Luke Dawn, having a few words. Grapple tackle, yes. Sir.
Go.
So here come Rovers now, really trying to turn the screw. St Helens ahead in the south of France in conditions I venture to suggest that would be a little kinder than this.
Two.
And the important
Hold.
time
Go.
now is an hour as far as Rovers are concerned at 16-0 ahead, because once they pass the hour mark, if the
On the
game has to
line,
be called
hold.
off because of the fog, the
Go.
result will stand. This is Webster. Short ball from Webster.
He really has controlled things out as a little half-back,
I'm behind,
Webster.
mate.
He's been everywhere, and so's this guy at dummy half, Cocaine.
He takes the return as well, Cocaine. This is Gallia. They go wide again to Fitzhenry. He dabs the ball down the line. They're going to get another set of 6. A goal line dropout coming up.
This is how you just control the game. Simple as that. Good work from Fitzhenry. He's on fire, isn't he? 2 tries already. Scintillating second try from him, and the skill factor from the big New Zealander, Jake Webster, to put the left winger through was beautiful to watch.
Goal line dropout from McGoldrick. Webster's underneath it. It only made 32 metres that. Here comes Mick Vella. Solid defence though from Henderson.
Hold. Go.
Cocaine.
Second. Hold.
Back in again at
Go.
dummy half is Cocaine.
Third. 2 feet. Go.
Good little run again. Oh, the ball is just lost forward.
Offside, mate. John Briscoe.
An offside for a penalty, or rather penalty for offside. Castleford injury news, Bill.
Eddie, we saw Michael Wainwright limping off in the first half. Oh, that sums up the Tigers' effort tonight. Didn't even make touch. But Wainwright, I don't think will be coming back. It's a knee problem for him. And as this sea threat closes in here, Eddie, I don't think the Tigers have got the foggiest how to get out of trouble.
Wonder who'd be first to say it. Bill came up trumps. Here is Gallia.
2.
I'll tell you what, I know that penalty didn't find touch, but it also found a very strong gust of wind. Here is Vella.
Oh, great defence.
Fantastic defence from Henderson.
Yeah.
Briscoe to Webster over the top. Chef Walker. They're in this time. Frustration for Castleford. Didn't find touch from the penalty. And before the set of 6 is out, Chef Walker over for his first try in Rovers colours.
This is the incident where they didn't find touch. Briscoe says thank you very much indeed. He's been in top form, but Webster with a beautiful pass yet again. He's a little general. He's the halfback, Webster. Over the top. And Chef Walker said, I'll take that 4. Thank you very much indeed.
Be pleased with that, Chef Walker. He missed 2 before he got in to the side again last week at Wakefield. 93 career tries now in rugby league for Chef Walker, and that's his first for the Rovers. Great Britain international, England international, certainly a candidate for Tony Smith's squad for Australia. Big, strong, but the kick from Morrell just goes the wrong side of the posts. But it's 20 points to 0 to Hull Kingston Rovers.
It's a very interesting challenge here now facing the Castleford Tigers. They won't come back and win this game, but what they don't want to do is capitulate like they did against Huddersfield just a few weeks ago. On that occasion they failed to find touch, and then they started to drop off tackles. And I think the coach Terry Matheson, Eddie, will want to see if they can develop a resilience here to hang on in tough matches, because this season has a long time to go in it. 20 points to 0 may be unsurmountable here tonight, but they need to start to develop a toughness in defence, which will help them for the rest of the year.
Look at the way that ball held in the wind again. Korkinos is on as well as far as the Tigers are concerned. The Catalan Dragons leading St Helens 8-6 in Perpignan. That's McGoldrick, and this is Liafa. Showed the pass to Higgins, but held on in the end. And the Rovers defence holds on to him, but he's still going. Eventually he's swung round.
Lifted
And
the
again,
leg.
it's a grapple tackle again, an attack round the neck. Penalty, and Korkinos first touch on since he's come back on the field with stitches in the head wound. Moore. Oh, and he did well to hang on to that. He really did. Brent Sherwin had to stretch, somehow held on to it.
Third. Hold. Go.
This is Scott Moore, McGoldrick and Higgins. Got plenty of substitutions left, both coaches. Moore, Korkidas. Held up short of the line. Last tackle here for Castleford. Scott Moore looking both ways, decides to come down the left channel. Sherwin, he lost his footing but miraculously got the ball away, and Dawn will hoist the kick wide, and it's caught out on the far side and thrown into touch, and Terry Matheson hangs his head in his hands. Shenton, if he'd have just looked up, I think the defender had moved away and the line was gaping. Look,
He could have gone on his own. He thought the winger was there, but I'm afraid Stuart Donlan had gone missing. Lost in the fog, perhaps. Well, things not going right for the Tigers tonight. But they've only got themselves to blame.
Hold, mate. Hold.
Anguish.
Frustration for the Castleford coach Terry Matheson.
But still a better set by Castleford, that keeping Hull KR pressured down there and coming up with the plays, and really that was the first time that they forced the pass. They need to keep hold of the ball, don't they? But the way Hull KR are playing, they're just taking the direct route and marching Castleford back upfield.
I told you earlier on that Castleford lost here in August 2005. Prior to that, they had won all 6 visits since Rovers left the old Craven Park here in Hull in 1989. But at 20 points to 0 now, it's a match for Hull KR to lose rather, I suppose, than Castleford to win it.
Bit of a high shot.
I
I must say, it's a bit of a problem for this fella at times. Ben Cockayne. Well, he's found touch on this occasion. No doubt about it. It was very high from Cockayne.
I think we're underestimating the strength of this wind that Castleford are facing now in the second half.
Well, they are underestimating just by the fact that the Tigers didn't utilise it in the first half.
They didn't. It's a very cold wind as well.
Hold. Go.
It doesn't look much, does it? It's blowing right into the face of the Tigers players. Here's Liafa. Gets the ball away, does well. Oh, that's a gift for Webster. Absolute gift for James Webster. Here's the winger, John Steele. Still going, John Steele. Good play by defenders. Great run down from Shenton that. He's quick, Steele, he really is. And Shenton, not only did he stop him, he slid him over the line and into touch.
Well, he had a grin on him. He thought, I've got him scored here.
And the grin went.
Oh, that is tremendous work. Superb play.
And Peter Lupton helping out there as well.
Not the best pass, though, was it? It was plucked out of the air by James Webster. And a fine match, controlling things, and I suppose at 53 minutes gone and 20 points to 0, the Tigers really have to just play for a little bit of pride here. They'll try to force it.
Well, they got pride. They will get pride out of that defensive effort, won't they?
They'll lift them, but they've got to score very, very quickly. They had the opportunity.
Steve will be giving you the name of the Man of the Match award towards the back end of this match. There are the prizes that the Man of the Match will receive, plus a bottle of bubbly as well, with a commemorative label on, and it's all in association with the title sponsors of the Super League.
I'll give you a hint, Eddie.
Dawn with the kick, and it goes out on the full. Oh, blimey, they can't find touch from a penalty, and they find the wrong side of the whitewash from a kick in general play.
But that's it, and the set before, they threw an interception. They're not building pressure. Justin Morgan said last week that his team probably had brain explosions against the Wakefield side, and they've really controlled the games tonight. But Castleford just need to start completing the sets and coming up with some plays and trying to build pressure.
You know what, if Justin Morgan wanted to make this an infamidable place for them, for opponents to travel to, Eddie, I think they're starting to do that here tonight. Defensively very strong, They've kept their opponents scoreless after 54 minutes, and they're starting to play here now like a side who can do something.
Yes, they are. And they need to, because their survival for Super League this year was based really on their away form last year. They only won 3 times in 2007 on this ground, Hull Kingston Rovers last year. Mind you, there were some prize scalps amongst those. That's a knock on. No, it's not. The referee says play on. Donlan gets away with it. It was a kick to the corner by Kirk Netherton.
Certainly ricocheted away.
Hold.
From up here, mind you, we're in the clouds, and it looked as though Donlan had knocked this ball forward.
Go.
He kicked through, yeah, no doubt
did.
about it, yeah, knock on. Quite clear to see. Oh, going from bad to worse. Lupton offloaded.
Well, was that the World Club Championship that Castleford played last Friday night against the Leeds Rhinos? Was it their grand final?
I think it was. We've seen little in evidence tonight from who we were praising so much last week. They were scintillating.
Is there an upset on the way in the south of France tonight?
Well, it's appeared that way on a few occasions, hasn't it, down in the south of France? But
well, it's appeared over the past 3 weeks that St Helens were going to be beaten, but
They've
then
got away with it.
they come away with it, yes. Can they do it again tonight?
I'm just saying, if the Catalans find a way to be pipped on the post on the bell yet again.
Hold.
There's David Mills, and he plays the ball. Clint Newton.
Hold. Go.
Netherton, dummy half. Webster on the inside, looking for Briscoe.
5.
Clayton got to him. Webster stabs the ball to the in-goal area. Deep in-goal area here at Craven Park, deeper than many around the Super League.
Got a super brain, this fella. James Webster, he has just run the show. Just teasing the Tigers time and time again. Goal line dropout. McGoldrick got there in time.
Here they come again, Hull Kingston Rovers with Luke Menzies. Just a word about James Webster. You remember when they played... Oh, that's a knock-on. When Hull Kingston Rovers and Castleford played in the Northern Rail Cup final in 2005, Webster was the caretaker player coach then, before Justin Morgan got to this club.
Out.
So you're right, he is a thinker.
Go.
You know, Eddie, you say about that, did they play the grand final last week? And probably going into that game, the talk was about that our Leeds going to be concerned with playing the Castleford side, and probably the Castleford players read into that, and they got a lot of self-belief from that. So they lifted themselves going into the game thinking, yep, this game's ours. But they've got to back it up, and that's the difference between Super League and National League. It's week in, week out in this division.
Yes, it is.
4. Hold. Go.
I don't think they've played particularly badly, actually, Castleford. I just think Hull Kingston Rovers have outmuscled them a bit tonight, Steve-O. Certainly in the pack.
They've controlled it, yeah. As I say, it's all about position, and that's what they've done.
They've had the chances, the Tigers, and here's another one with Shenton. But again, he throws the ball wildly into touch.
Sheer desperation.
Was the last.
Lack of concentration, communication. Call it whatever you like.
Okay.
Great work from Jake Webster.
To be fair to the centre, he was looking to see for his winger to come back on the inside. Just didn't read it right.
Hold. Go.
Well, they are almost at the three-quarter mark of this match. The hour mark, which would mean that the result stands even if this fog really does drop down. And they are just 20 minutes or so away from nilling opposition in Super League for the very first time.
Onside.
I get the impression that the fog's lifting, actually. Look at that chase, superb.
Well, actually, the viewing conditions now are as good as they have been all night.
Move. Go.
Well, when we hear the final hooter,
Second. Scotland
it'll
out.
be amazing. It'll just disappear completely. It just has a habit of doing that. Justin Morgan, the Rovers coach, will be happy with their defence as well. They've worked tirelessly. The difference between the two sides as well has been the ability for their first and second markers. They work in overtime. Tigers, no, they were very slow.
Here's Scott Moore for Castleford. Made a grab at him. He manages to keep the ball going now on to Ryan Clayton. It's a bit of a lone furrow for Clayton because they were plodding up behind him, the Tigers. Here's Sherwin. Angle kick, great kick as well. But it just didn't bounce kindly for McGoldrick.
Nice little option.
Hold, mate.
The fullback knew exactly it was going to come back onto the centre. Little chip over the top. Too many errors. 10 already by the Tigers, and
Hold, mate. Hold.
you really can't expect to get into a game when you come up with so many like that.
Past the hour mark here. 20-0, Rovers ahead.
Third. Hold. Go.
Walker gets the ball in field to Briscoe.
4. Hold.
He's pulled down by Craig Hubie.
Outside.
Stab over the top.
That's a
Turning
great
them
kick.
around. It is a great kick.
Onside.
He's been
Collected
very
by
solid,
Donlan.
hasn't he? Ben Galea.
What a chase from Jake Webster.
There was doubt about whether Galea could handle the standoff position. I think he's done a fine job.
2. Hold. Go.
I think what you find on a night like this, Steve-O, is that it's a real man's game, rugby league. And I think that Hull KR have had more men. Ben Galea, Michael Vella, Clint Newton, Stanley Jean, and probably Jake Webster. Just 5 of them you pick out. You need tough guys in these conditions who want to play tough rugby league. And obviously about the skill and the glamour, but I think that Hull KR have done that, and they've done the tough stuff. They've hustled and bustled, and you look at the number of play the balls that they've had in their opponent's half to the ones from Castleford. You just see it's almost twice as many, and that's because they've been prepared to do the tough stuff, do the hard work, and force the way downfield when necessary.
That's Fitzhenry. Tony Ray live with our colleagues on Sky Sports News tomorrow night from 9:30. All the highlights of the weekend of Super League matches. He'll run through every game for you. Tell you where the matches were won and lost. And Boots and All online on Tuesdays from noon. On our website, it's the first place you can catch each and every try scored in the Super League this weekend. Tuesdays from noon. And available on your TV sets via Sky Anytime from Wednesday. The Sky Anytime service available to those of you with a recent HD box, an HD box rather, or a recent Sky Plus box. Webster will hoist the high kick. That'll catch the breeze. This is dangerous. Well claimed though by Kirk Dixon. What a chase! What a follow-up from Sean Briscoe.
They look sharper in every department, haven't they, the Rovers? And he's had a fine game as a full-back.
He's just put his hand up though, Sean Briscoe. I think he's hurt his shoulder. His arm is hanging limp. Needs some attention, and I think Bill's on the spot. Bill?
Well, in fact, just a few yards away from me, Sean Briscoe looking very groggy indeed, and signalling for attention to the bench, which he's got immediately. So he's just, I think, going to spend a bit of time out here on this wing just to see whether he can shake that off. I'm not sure whether it was a bang on the shoulder or just he got it wrong when he went in to make that tackle.
Won't want to miss the derby against the Black and Whites of Hull, his former club, on Friday. None of you will, I'm sure. You'll be able to watch it with us on Sky Sports. It's the match that goes before that. Saints Wigan, 2:30 Friday, noon, high noon for Hull KR against Hull FC here. And the tickets for that have been sold out for weeks.
And boy, sparks will fly.
Hold. Go.
This is Kirk Netherton. Here now is Webster. He's seen a little hole in the middle. Got a clattering for his pains there from Hubie.
Go.
Wipes his nose. Hubie didn't miss.
Morrell. Good ball to Walker. Oh, great pass from Walker to Morrell. Here is John Steele. Oh, the ball's been pinched.
First.
And stolen there by Peter Lupton.
Go.
McGoldrick. Oof. Good hit.
Very balanced defence as well
Go.
from the Rovers. They've hunted in a real good pack. They've worked hard.
Hold.
They really have not allowed Castleford any room to move.
Korkidas stands in the tackle, gets it away to Henderson. And this is...
Perfect example there on that long shot. That when Castleford tried to, even though they were offloading the ball, you could see that the Rovers defence had come in very quick out wide, and they're just leaving a very narrow channel for the Tigers to work in.
Dawn finds touch here, and I don't think he wanted to. He's frustrated with his kicking game tonight, is Luke Dawn.
As well, Steve-O, you commented on it today that the Castleford team, they're really bunching around the ruck, and as you get tired as a player, you all seem to bunch and you go to the back of the ruck so you can't get the ball. You don't put yourself in a position to really get the ball. Whereas the Hull KR, you watch them now, they seem to have great shape. The wingers holding the touchline, which is really pulling the Castleford defenders out. So that's why the forwards for Hull KR are making real big inroads into this Cast defence.
2. Hold. Go.
Well, good news for Rovers, as I said earlier, is that Paul Cook is available on Friday for them, and
he nearly got that.
Welcome him back.
He went for the intercept and nearly got it, just couldn't get and grab it in. Another frustrating night for this fella who was outstanding last week. It shows you the ups and downs of sport, especially rugby league.
There's nothing to choose before tonight in the scoring stakes between these two clubs, but Castleford, well, they do have the worst defence. 27 tries conceded as compared to Hull Kingston Rovers 19, and they've shipped a few more in here tonight. Mills goes down in the tackle. 14 minutes to go as Michele Ezu drives it forward. Halted by Korkidas and Henderson and Gutenbiel. Oh, lovely little chip through by Netherton. Jake Webster was hunting any mistake.
Oh, that is superb.
Wonderful chase from Netherton again.
He's done his job when he's been out there on the field of players, Kirk Netherton. It's been a good all-round effort. I'll be pleased with it. Justin Morgan wasn't too happy last week. Said they were certainly off the boil. Well, they bubbled a bit tonight.
5. Hold.
Just nowhere to go for the Tigers.
Here's Luke Dawn. Now, chance may be here. No, another pass finds its way over the touchline, this time off Mark Liaffa, who is looking for Dixon wide.
Well, the times that the Tigers have just put the ball over the whitewash must be up to 5 or 6 occasions. And as the day and the night's gone on, they've just gone from bad to worse, I'm afraid. He's on the last, so that'll be the turnover. Maybe just good, solid rugby league football by the Rovers, especially in the second half. They've spread the work out. The forwards have really rolled up their sleeves, got into it.
Ezu for Rovers again in his 6th season at Hull KR. And Chev Walker. Oh, the ball's come to ground. Knock on, says the referee. Just going to say Chev Walker, one of 10 new faces brought in by Justin Morgan this year. 15 of last year's squad have been shown the door.
It's been a tough encounter. Castleford have tried, especially in their defensive quality. We saw on one occasion where they got back, Shenton got back to put Steele into the touch. But apart from that, they've had little to smile about.
It's a really nice test, isn't it, Eddie, for Hull Kingston Rovers here, to see whether they can maintain their concentration now for 80 minutes. Subconsciously, every one of the 13 players on the field know that they've won this game, but can they put that to one side and continue to defend and to play with the ball in the manner they did in the first quarter of this game?
Henderson gets it away to Gutenbiel for the Castleford Tigers. 32 yesterday. Alban Gutenbiel is a towering figure for Castleford this year, as he was last. McGoldrick spins the ball wide, finds Michael Shenton. Can't get away, though, from the tackle of Jake Webster. Here's McGoldrick again. That will hang in the wind. That'll come back. at McGoldrick. Oh, no, it won't. The bounce is horrible. Well picked up by Briscoe.
Positioned well, didn't it? McGoldrick, he's tried his hardest, but I must say he's been outplayed by his opposite number.
That's high.
Briscoe, that was a swinger.
Round the top.
Sheer frustration. He felt that one. It's going to be difficult as well with their display. So many errors. Terry Madison now is going to get them back on the horse. It's not going to be easy next week. A tough Easter program coming up.
Azu drives it forward with purpose every time, doesn't he?
Certainly does, and that's what you need. You know, Justin Morgan realises that they need heavy, hard-working forwards. He just interchanged very well, and since he come on, Azu has just completely got over the advantage line.
Netherton gives the ball to Gallia. Gallia to Briscoe. Goes wide from Briscoe to Jake Webster. All down. More good defence on show from Shenton. Oh, he ran. Surely he was offside. Yes, he was. Defender shot out of the line then. Must have been offside. He's quick, but maybe not that quick.
Michael Korkidas.
Mind you, not penalise the man. If that's the mark, it's not him. The bloke who ran from the defensive line.
Picked out Michael Korkidas.
Here is Webster again.
Hold.
Will Netherton have a little run on his own?
Position.
Been quite happy just to farm the ball out.
Hand in, mate. Get your hand out.
Messing around.
And in at the play the ball.
Stay on the line.
This is Netherton again to restart. Azu.
First, think about it. Hold. Go.
Netherton, good run around. Briscoe goes wide, but too wide. Fitzhenry just couldn't take his pass in.
A little bit high, difficult to take. Just overran it. Another fine match.
Well, if that pass would have stuck for Fitzhenry, he would have scored the hat-trick. His last one, in fact his only one in his career, was for West Tigers against Melbourne in 2006.
Still plenty of time though. Now can the Tigers finish with a bit of a flourish?
Well, it would encourage their coach Terry Matterson. It would encourage them as well for the busy Easter programme. Guttenbeil now for them.
Another big problem that the Tigers have had to face is the fact that, you know, the centre combination of Chev Walker and Jake Webster, very strong in defence. They really haven't allowed Shenton and Dixon any room to move. In fact, I can't remember that they've made a break down that just outside in the centre position.
Last one here for Castleford. Ball goes to the air from Luke Dawn, and finds touch again. Dixon was climbing but couldn't climb high enough.
14, Liam Higgins replacing 13, Joe Westerman.
But isn't that a better set for them? They've just gone through the process of the rugby league and the game. You've got the first three play the ball, you've got to win, and after that you've got Henderson going through the making breaks. You've got the forwards making big inroads into the Hull KR team, and that Terry Matson will look at the game, will break it down, see where they've not won it, and realistically, looking at it, they've not got to the kick, but they've come up, they've not played that bad. They've missed a few tackles, but only 3 tries off, really.
Go. 2.
Yes, they've been quite vigorous in their defence, haven't they? But it's just that when it's been needed tonight, Hull Kingston Rovers have come up with the more guile, and they've come up with the greater ideas to get over the try line. And they will be determined now, Rovers, for the next 6.5 minutes or so, to keep Castleford out. As I said earlier, this will be the first time that the Tigers, the Rovers rather, have nilled anyone in Super League in their brief tenure in the top flight. Chev Walker. Knock on that by Morrell, but it's
well, he tried to kick it, didn't he, Morrell? He tried to get a little bit.
Picked up by Ryan Clayton, so play on.
Well, they get a boot to ball there.
Korkidas drives it forward again.
To be fair, it hasn't been a classic game. It's been a tough, hard encounter. We anticipated that, but I think maybe that's been brought about by the fact that Justin Morgan, the Hull Kingston Rovers coach, would have said, look, I want some more work from the forwards, no frills, just get on with it. And that's what they've done.
Third.
Well, they managed to hang on to that. Peter Lupton got the ball away. This is Henderson again.
4.
It's the fourth tackle
Come
gone.
on, hold. Go.
Dawn changes direction, flicks it to Henderson. Here's Guttenbeil. No way through though. They just haven't got the
5. Come
they
on.
haven't got the last
Hold
play
it,
tonight
Five.
as they had last Friday to get through this defence. Well, they're going to get 6 more here.
And full credit to the Rovers defence, Eddie, because as I said earlier, they're coming in quickly on the outside and they're just allowing the Tigers only the middle of the pitch to play with.
Now can Rovers keep them out? Henderson to Luke Dawn. Back it comes to McGoldrick. Here is Ryan Clayton again. Good defence though, scrambling defence from Rovers. And this is Dixon, and again, no way through. And the penalty for offside. The thing, that penalty, the reason why this is the way that it's being played at the moment is he has to see if there is an opportunity for the team in possession to score, and that's why he is allowing the advantage to go on maybe longer than Steve-O you would appreciate.
To the end of that play.
Catalan ahead in the south of France, 12-6. Guttenbeil to McGoldrick. Still going. Ball has come free and play on, says the referee. Is there going to be some reward for the Tigers here? It's Liafa. Still Liafa.
If there's one Tiger out there, that's Henderson, the hooker. He deserves to go in.
And Henderson so close, but held up by Briscoe. There's Liafa again, gives it a bit of width, but untidily it finds Dawn. But they've lost a lot of ground there. Galea dropped on Luke Dawn. McGoldrick with a little kick through, it's picked up, they're going to score. It's Craig Hubie who scores for the Tigers. And so Rovers cannot keep a team to 0 in Super League. Not yet anyway. Craig Hubie with consolation for Castleford, but at least it gives them something to think about. They know their way to the line, this lot.
And it was a good kick as well. Very good kick indeed. In fact, there's been so many, hasn't it? McGoldrick just stabs it through. Good work from Hubie, who I thought worked very hard in the opening 15 minutes in that first half. He put himself about. Just reward there. But it's mere consolation, and they know it.
A couple of extra sets of 6, courtesy of the penalties given to them by Steve Ganson as well. So Castleford at 20-0 down, you know, they could have easily put the queue on the rack with 5 or 10 minutes to go, couldn't they? But they've kept it going to the end.
Yeah, they've worked hard, and you've got to give them credit at times for their defence. Scramble defence get through, but they must be a very tired outfit now.
Westerman, and he misses. So it's 20 points to 4. Young Joe Westerman. There's the try scorer. Steve-O, who's your man of the match?
I'm going for the man that's been the architect, really. The little halfback, James Webster, I think has been superb. There's been some good performances, though, from the Rovers outfit. Impressed with all the 3 quarters. Briscoe, Steele, Walker, Webster, Fitzhenry, they've all done their bit. Impressed with Ben Galea, but I've got to get James Webster is my man of the match. Fully deserved as well.
Let's just get a quick injury update from Bill. 2 minutes to go, Bill.
Eddie, just a bit of concern for Rovers. Michael Vella has been sitting on the sidelines for a while. He seemed to have a shoulder problem. He's had a bit of a treatment on it. Obviously, though, with the big game coming up next Friday, Justin Morgan keeping players, if he can do so tonight, just on the bench. And a bit of an irony, because Scott Morrell has just been named as the Rovers man of the match here tonight. Of course, Paul Cook available again for next Friday, and Scott Morrell might well be under pressure for that position.
Yes, you never know. Here is Guttenbeil, and Castleford finishing with the tails up here. 18-6 in the south of France. What a funny old year this is.
Well, I said before a ball was kicked, Eddie, that it wouldn't surprise me if a team finishes on top of the table and yet losing 10 games.
Penalty here for Rovers. Man tackled in the air by Mark Liaffa. And he was Sean Briscoe. Well, that's the 22nd penalty we've had tonight. Into the last 30 seconds of the match. Rovers with the victory.
First. Hold. Hold. Stop. Surrender. 2. Move.
20 seconds ago, Netherton waits at dummy half. Galea spreads it wide to Webster. That's Jake Webster.
Good work from Shenton there. It's been a real tussle between Webster and him.
Counting down to victory here, Rovers supporters. We'll take the tackle here. That's it. Hull KR have won by 20 points to 4. There's the man of the match, James Webster.